Hey everyone, I just changed my chart style and it really showed up nicely. I like the dark background. I think the volume bars are kind of cool. If you're curious, I have white is up and the black is the down day. I hope you can see that on your screen there. Hope the contrast comes through on the video. But what I really wanted to touch on is this nice little pattern up here. So obviously Ethereum came up here to $420, came down, consolidated, popped up here, and now we're in this nice, type of a flag or a pennant pattern, if you will. We have a very nice, this may not be quite a flag. Maybe we'll get another leg down and maybe form something out like this. Usually you don't get these types of super steep. That's really not a pattern. What you really end up with is something more like this. Kind of at a 45-degree angle, something like that. It gives the coin room to breathe, gives it room to move around. So if you look at the slow here, it also coincides with this prior high over here. So a couple areas have been tested. These two bars, they kind of negate this high, but they still popped and came right back above it. So this area is of somewhat importance, the 266 level. But with the volume flattening out here, if we can stay away from these big selling bars, I think we're going to be in good shape for Ethereum going forward. You really should always keep an eye on Ethereum, and I know I've said that a few times, but when this thing starts to move, it really can be explosive. I mean, you look back in history, just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days, and you go from $54 up to $100. I mean, that's really spectacular move for a coin that's worth like almost $10 billion at this point. So I just want to throw Ethereum out there as something that is going to be viable in the intermediate term. Short term, it's still a wait and see. If we can get above this level, let me jump down to the 2-hour chart here. If we can get above this level right here, which looks like it's actually about 309. So 310 is probably a really good place. 310 is going to just make it break out above these highs. So we have one poke above the 310 level, or kind of a rounded top above the 310 level, which is kind of a bearish pattern. It's not a bullish pattern. And then we have a retest, a retest here and a retest here, and all of those failed. So we almost kind of have an inverse head and shoulders here too. We have a low, we have a lower low and a higher low. If we can continue this curving upward, if we can break past this 310 level, I think Ethereum may be the next one to break out with any consequence. We've already seen Bitcoin run 25 to 30%. We've seen a lot of other smaller currencies run. We've seen IOTA, which is now a large currency. If you're not familiar with IOTA, you should check out my video on that one. So IOTA is a larger currency that's been doing well lately. So all the oldies but goodies, well, not all of them, but Ethereum, Litecoin, NEM really not doing a whole lot. Dash just recently had a pretty decent day, although it wasn't spectacular. It was up about 10% or so. But all these oldie but goodie coins have kind of been sitting here, being forgotten about, digesting these runs. And you see that time and time again. When you have these big runs, they always consolidate, they always pull back, and then they set up some kind of a base, and that's a great place to buy from, because then you know the down move is over, and you can really be assured that you're going to get some upward price movement. But you do need to confirm it with volume. You need to make sure that your volume pattern is in play. You need to make sure that you're not seeing just a ton of selling. And like if you take this a bottom and consider this a pattern, see it fails. You can see it again here. This is kind of it's an iffy pattern. It's kind of wide, loose, not very symmetrical. This fails. So you can see this over and over again. What you really need to find is a base or a pattern or a support level that's tested several times, has some good volume signatures, and then it tends to run pretty well. I just want to point a couple things out within this space. If you notice, we have these big down spikes in these two areas here. So the volume is actually pretty big, and I'm going to say that's actually not a bad thing. Anytime you see large volume on large candlesticks where they close towards the top end of the range on down days, those are called washout bars. Those washout bars typically indicate that the selling is over, and you can actually initiate a long position at the end of these bars if you're fortunate enough to catch those bars. So that's just another tidbit. But I want to throw Ethereum in your plate here if you haven't been watching it. If you've been looking at IOTA and these other smaller coins ready to run or that have been running, you need to keep Ethereum on your list here. Like, hopefully, if it makes another leg down and then can pop back up and then consolidate towards the highs and then pop, I mean, this could be a really, really, really nice move up. Where's it going to go? I have no idea. You have a little point of resistance up here to about 360. It'd be nice if it were to get up to 420. Actually, let's see what kind of a move that would be. So that's only about a 36% run. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility by any stretch of the imagination. If we take it out of this small consolidation, I mean, this ran up 36%, so it could in theory run up another 36% or pretty close to that. Even if it gets towards $400, you're still looking at about a 25 to 30% run. So there's my little 2 cents on IOTA, about 30%. There's my 2 cents on IOTA. It's worth what, or I'm sorry, on Ethereum. IOTA on the brain. So there's your quick update on Ethereum. It's worth what you paid for it. And comments below. Let's get some chat going. What do you guys think about this chart? Do you have any questions about it? Do you think I'm reading this completely incorrectly? Love to hear from you. Get some conversations going. Get out of my own bubble in my head here. All right, guys. Thanks. Have a good one.